Hey YouTube, Mochismo Eugene. Welcome to another video from Exit Strategy. Let me turn the TV down. I want to talk about how did you escape some of the narcissists of the past who you either had an interest in or had an interest in you. Well, there's a couple of reasons why you escaped the abuse or even the interaction that would have inevitably ended up into a discard. This happens a lot to me. Well, I won't say a lot. Since I've awakened, there has been instances where I've been out and about, in passing, and I've seen individuals that I had once, just from a distance. You know how we observe people. Humans, we do that for a number of reasons. And I'm talking specifically of a few individual females that I've observed in the past and had a sort of interest in from a distance, if you will. Never pursued it, but just casually observed them. And the little thought in the back of your head, like, she's a nice looking lady. But for some reason or another, I didn't pursue them. Probably from being busy, never crossing their paths again, or if in fact they had an interest in you and observed you and engaged with you in conversation, and you were vibing with them and you felt like the energy was sort of on the same level, and it went nowhere. Well, I'm going to tell you a few reasons why you escaped potentially getting destroyed by these particular narcissists before you inevitably met the narcissist who actually did abuse you. Well, one reason is because when they meet you and they observe you and you observe them, you've done just that, observed them, and you didn't see them a whole lot after that occurrence. I believe God afforded you the opportunity to just see them that one time, and the next time that you saw them in a whole new, fresh way. And God is allowing you to see this person for what they truly are, by way of what they've probably took someone else through. I'll just give you a story. Just one particular individual female that I had seen in this city. I've been here for about 25 years. And so I had seen this individual, and how I saw her was in a capacity where there was an individual that owned the property that she was renting to. And my job was to come in and to remove all of the possessions and the items in the house, because this individual had failed to pay rent for in upwards of 3 to 6 months, stringing the landlord along. Which you guys are familiar with this stuff. It happens a lot, especially in pandemic. It happened a lot, but some people do this on a regular. They know they're not going to pay their rent when they come in. They come in with this nice persona, and they bamboozle these people, unassuming people, to the point where they leave you financially in disarray, and they leave a whole bunch of problems, more problems than you had before they came. I told you guys the story of when the narcissist I married left. I had 2 dump trailers full of her junk, stuff that I'd never seen her use, just boxes of nothing. And so they are hoarders of free stuff. And this is how I think she acquired all this, the one that I married. But back to this individual, I was responsible with taking all the possessions and the furnishings and whatnot out of this house. And can I tell you, When I went into this residence, as I began to walk from room to room, I literally observed a despicable, nasty, disgusting situation. The bathtub, I don't want to really specifically say what exactly I encountered in this house by way of the bathroom, but I guess you guys can figure it out. This individual was the most disgusting person I'd ever seen in my life. And they left this landlord's house this way. They went through all the rooms and literally got spray paint and sprayed it against the wall. I've actually ran into this a few times with, pretty much cleaning the houses out for potential or these specific landlords. So, but this particular individual, it was just one thing to another. They spray painted all kind of obscenities on the walls. They got a gallon of paint and poured it in the floor, center of the floor. It's just like they poured it in almost like a writing fashion, and it hardened in the center of the hardwood floor. They went in every room and did something. And the furnishings in this house seems like it was something that someone would have picked up off of the curb. It was dirty, it was nasty, it stunk. The refrigerator was full of all the contents, and it also stunk. And I was responsible for getting rid of all of this stuff. And I'm going to tell you, I have hazmat jumpsuits and masks, caustic masks. And I'm going to tell you, I had to go in like I was doing a COVID situation, because there was nothing in there that I wanted to touch with my bare hands or even just regular gloves. I had nitrate gloves on and latex gloves. I had probably 2 or 3 layers of them on, and the whole 9 yards. The hazmat had a hood on it, and the feet part goes over your shoes. It was one of the worst endeavors that I had ever taken on, but I did it because the individual that I worked for, this was the once and only situation that he had like this that I was called in to take care of. And so what I'm saying to you is, it showed me a new picture of how this person moved. It's amazing when you can see a person out and about. We're not talking about people who are, just, have a messy house, because if that's the case, mine's fairly messy most of the time. In a sense where I got power tools and different things in places where they probably shouldn't be, but I'm a single father. I do try to be tidy, and if I'm not, I have my kids, they'll come around and they'll do just the little things that they see that might need attention. But we're talking about someone who is atrocious. Atrocious. And they had children. All the mattresses were on the floor, no bed frames. And that's not really a bad way to sleep, with the mattress on the floor. But it wasn't just the mattress on the floor. The mattresses looked like they were something, like I said, pulled off the curb, out of a dumpster. How could someone sleep on this? And if you saw this person in a store, if you saw her out and about, you would have no idea that this is the person that lives like this. I'm here to tell you, you escaped narcissists of the past for many different reasons. This is God trying to intercept your state of mind from the narcissist. You were probably too vibrant. That's another reason why they passed you up. You were too confident. Your tank of self-esteem was probably almost full. You wasn't running low on self-esteem. They observe you from a distance and they see that you are something to be reckoned with. This person's not going to put up with my BS. They're not going to put up with my nasty living. They see you for what you are. We don't see them for what they are. But this was a real eye-opening situation for me. And there's been many occasions, a few occasions anyway, of me being awakened now and looking at some individuals I see in passing and how they have just decimated relationships with other guys. And I say to myself, God, you are the only one could have seen that. And with the girl I'm talking about that had this deplorable type of living, what you have to understand, once we get involved with some of these people, these narcissists, you ever notice how some of even your convictions and some of your standards, they become diminished? We start cutting corners on our very ethics. I'll give you a case in point with the one I married. She would buy yogurts from the grocery store, and it was these specific yogurts in the glass jar, and they were pretty pricey. They were probably the more expensive yogurts, but I think they were more authentic and organic yogurt, or natural, if you will. And in the back seat of her SUV, it was littered. The floor, both sides of the back floorboards in the back seat were littered with these yogurt jars, empty, where she had just picked out on them day after day after day. And so I would also often say, why are you, why do you have all these things? Oh, I'm going to clean it up. It was always, I'm going to do it. But the whole principal point is to even start piling these things up back there. Some of them had turned over, and just the fact of yogurt, you get rid of stuff like that. You get rid of the containers with stuff like that immediately. You don't keep it around. Bacteria and everything form on this. So how I compromised in that, I would always take the liberty to clean that back floorboard out. Because of her, I'm going to do it. And there are things that I've procrastinated about, many things in life, but where it regards food and different things like that, I just feel like you need to really dispose of that in a timely fashion. And another reason why the narcissist passed you up is because they read an energy that was too strong for them. It was like a heat emitting off of you. You ever try to get close to a bonfire where you're burning like tons of pallets, old wooden pallets, and they're stacked like 8 foot high? You ever seen one of those bonfires? You can only get so close. Actually, you got to stand about 30, 40 feet away because the heat is so intense. That's the intensity that you have. This is how some of these narcissists passed you up. This is my belief. Just for us to run into the ones that we did, that tried to destroy us, but failed. Just some stuff I wanted to talk to you guys about, and I hope you guys understand some of this stuff. The ones that you passed up, and the ones that passed you up, it was just a blessing of God. He protected you, and as an empath, He always will protect you. But work on yourself, work on your sense of self and your boundaries. Just a few things that we need to just work out in ourselves. We wasn't undone when the narcissist met us. That was always God sent. But there were still some things that are yet in need of taking heed of and just changing. And as we go along and we heal and we see how these people move in our awakened state, Now we know what to do and how to move with them. That being said, bless.